What a week it has been. And I'm really excited about this week. I'm really excited about my life. And I'm really excited that I always have a lip gloss right by me. So, as I apply my lip gloss and settle in, it is more about, well, the reflection of the beauty of life. And knowing that I am now in a space. Hey, happy Friday, Calvin. Happy Friday. I am now in a space where I'm like the cool auntie. I'm happy to read your message, Calvin Mo. And the person, I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. And I was just explaining how I'm the role of the cool aunt. And my niece, who's 14, was speaking to me about 14-year-old stuff. Being in a new school. I did not cook tonight. I cooked earlier today. I don't know if you were on my live where I made my plant-based scramble, like egg scramble. I had that for lunch with plantain. I love plantain. I love plantain. I love sweet potatoes. I love a starch. And then I had rice pudding, but I had sushi this evening. Yeah. It's Friday evening, so my scramble is fantastic with onions and tomato and chipotle chili and lots of seasoning and cilantro because I love herbs, especially cilantro. It adds a delicious fresh flavor. So that was delicious. However, my dinner was sushi and like seaweed salad and some other types of peso. You can come around. Thank you for asking. What did you have to eat? What is everybody eating? I was really productive today, so I can forget to eat. I will say like, okay, I need to eat. I will constantly drink junk. What kind of junk? And why are we putting that? Why are you putting that in your body? You are what you eat. What's up, Crypto Tracker? I'm having a fantastic day. I really, really am. And I'm excited about the day and the weekend and the rest of the week and the rest of the month and the rest of the year and the rest of my life. That's what I continue to say. And before I started talking to Calvin about what I had for dinner, I am often the motivational speaker for my niece, who is 14, and those things, regardless of technology, adolescence is weird. It's weird for all of us. It was weird because our bodies are changing, because we're in now middle school or high school, and there's guys that like you or girls that like you or you don't like you, or your voice is cracking, or you have acne, or your body is developing. Now for me, it didn't, because I've always been very slim. So I've appreciated every year because I've never looked like my age. So my friends who are trying to look older, 15, 16, 18, 20, I couldn't even try. Because I looked like I was 12. Well, maybe, but so what? Bad choices and bad decisions lead to enlightenment in some way. There is no bad choice. It's something you can learn from. I've made a lot of choices. I've lived a very colorful life. So I could say that with full knowledge, but I will not shame myself into saying thank you. A week from Sunday, I mean, I guess I look 25. I do look young for my age, but I just have a childlike presence. I like to be outside. Thank you, NP, for me. I checked out your page. Okay, nurse practitioner. I needed a nurse friend. I have several nurse friends. Let me say NP for me. And my aunt and my grandmother. That's great. Yeah, I do look more like I'm 35 because I'm older than 35. So fat, poor, either way, it's fine. So what? I love nurses. You guys are caring. You are. So yes, my grandmother and aunt were nurses, as well as one of my close friends. I have a few close friends that are NPs. Sure, I acted. I was telling someone, because I'm going to be 40 on next Sunday, and I was saying this thing called age is really weird. Because when I was a young girl and I would look at, say, I was born in 1983. What's up, queen? I would look at my grandmother or my parents and think that they had a feeling that was different from me because they were older and they had lived life. And I just had this huge realization. Thank you. Yeah, my birthday is the 26th of this month. And I said, I don't feel different. I don't feel any different from when I was 8 or 12 or 22, or I have no pain in my body. I'm very active. I'm very flexible and limber. I'm always drinking water. I have a great outlook on life, but I don't feel an age. And that's just the strangest realization. Thank you. That this experience, I had said, I operate differently in the world because the world sees me. Yeah, it does. And I live a great life. I have to say, I live and will continue to live a great life. If you don't drink water, if you want to complain about your man or your girl or your life, get away from me. That's what ages you. But I don't feel an age. Maybe if I had pain in my body, I would feel something different, but I don't. I really feel, I don't know, ageless? Yes, I am very much a Sag. And in my birth chart, I have 5 Sag placements. I'm heavy on fire energy. So the thing with age, I always hear people say, oh yeah, well, now that I'm old, so like, why would you say that about yourself? You're here. Enjoy the life that you have. I love seeing you to 1%. Yeah, that's a blessing. I don't blame stress. I mean, stress will kill you. And some people are just attached to it. So I have to get them out. That's the one thing I believe that keeps anyone in their best self, in their best body, in their best feeling state. And drinking water. There's things that I no longer do because they don't serve me. Like when I was a flight attendant and with friends, I used to drink. I loved champagne and fine cocktails, nothing, no top shelf liquor. But thank you, 1%. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm posting, I was going to do it right before I came on live. I've been working on it all day. My YouTube about the experience with TED. So after this, I'm going to post it. So if you've already subscribed, you'll see it. It's like a 19-minute video. I did, MP, last month. I'll talk a little bit about that. Last month I did. On October 7th, I gave my TED Talk. It is called The Emergency Landing You Need. What's up, Moni Love? Look at all the hopefuls. All the hopefuls are here. Thank you. So yeah, in the YouTube video, I speak about what I've learned. Thank you. That is such a sweet compliment, Moni Love. I appreciate you, and I'm happy to see you in the building. Okay. Yeah. Go check it out. And it's short. It's just under 8 minutes, purposely. In fact, I aimed for it to be 10 to 12 minutes, but one of the dress rehearsals, I completely rewrote it, and it was like 30 minutes. And then I said, you know what? I just got to feel this one out. So I gave that talk in Germany last month. A lot of my hopefuls heard my whole story, and I speak about it a little in this YouTube video. So after this, I'm going to go post it. And I spoke about having vision, because I had found a TED background. I went to Pinterest, and I think this is powerful as well as working towards something. But whatever you want, whether it's a car, an amount of money, a partner, a TED Talk, a house, whatever, find the exact thing and put yourself in it. So I found a TED background on Pinterest, and I superimposed a photo of me onto that background. So it was like me with the TED background behind me. What's up, Celos Focus? Did you change your name back? Wasn't it something else, or am I incorrect? I'm not known to mess up men's names, but correct me if I'm wrong. So I had printed that out, and I had it on my left bedside table. Okay, then I got you confused. My apologies. So for 2 to 3 years, I was always seeing me on this TED stage. I had it right on my bedside table. And I believe this is powerful. Maybe it's programming, but it's also the work. So I'm seeing it, I'm believing it, and I'm making every step to do it. So it's the combination of both. It could be possible that you could just dream that it happens, and it happens. I believe it's both. It's the workings of you working towards it, as well as seeing it. And so when it came to pass, what's up, Youth the King? I see you're back. Nice to read your hello with a hand. It was a powerful time. And in this YouTube video, I speak about what I learned about myself, because to date, it is one of the most challenging accomplishments I had to grow into, because I know I'm a great speaker, and I know I inspire, and I know this is my path, and I had to be sure of that, because when you step onto a stage like TED, and all the other speakers were professionals in their own lane. So I speak on the YouTube video about a friend I made. She's a scientist. She, well, is it humble? I think, okay, MP for me, here's 3 things. It's already done. So it's not like it's not something that, I don't know, it's kind of open and free, Youth the King. It's an accomplishment, but it's done. As soon as I stepped off the stage after that day, I stayed in the presence of what that felt like. But after I reach something, then it's done. Then it's done. Secondly, I don't adhere to what humble is. In fact, even my therapist said, yeah, humble No, because the definition of humble is to lessen one's importance. I'm not going to do that, ever. And if someone has a discomfort with some accomplishment, that's not me, that's them. And yeah, TED was great and it's done. There I am, Mag. There I am. Thank you. Finally, you're here. One of my mods is here. Do the block initially. We don't do no mutes. But it's like I did it and it was great and I will do it again. And the journey was important. Doing it was important. It doesn't change what I am. I was the same speaker before TED. And so, yeah, often I think because I've already done it and the experience, others see it in a different way than myself. Like, I no longer see TED. It is a big accomplishment. Thank you. Let me just say thank you. Maybe I'm trying to downgrade myself. I don't know. But it was challenging. It was challenging for me to be comfortable that I was in that space, even though I knew I would be in that space. Also, and I'll make a part 2 for the video because I was losing my voice. I was losing my voice on my way to TED because it was how I've always known. Youth to King. I've always known I've had a gift. And every teacher has told my parents, Hope is a great student, but she talks too much. I've always known. Plus my father, I was around speakers and orators. I just decided that I wanted to put something meaningful and purposeful into my legacy. That's it. So on my way to the TED Talk, because it was in Germany, there was a gentleman behind me who was like the whole time, right behind me. And I said, oh, geez, oh my gosh, no, not 2 days before. But that's where these self-care techniques came in. Peso, no. Because, I gave it in English. It was at an English-speaking university, and no spreche ich Deutsch. I can count to 10 and ask for basic things in German. I would not be able to, without practice, I would not be able to perform a speech in German. However, I'll put that on my bucket list. There you go. Thank you. His name is White. Peso, you gotta chill. So as the person was coughing, I got off the flight. I was in Germany, landed in Frankfurt. Sure, yeah. I believe all languages are beneficial. And English is a Germanic language, so it doesn't sound that off. I just went into drinking lots of tea. Yeah, Dutch, German, Afrikaans is kind of sounds similar. All romantic languages are the languages of love. French, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish. So I never said I was sick because I'm speaking of the whole TED process. I had felt resistance. I didn't even say, oh, my throat is hurting. I select words that are what I want. Instead of saying, I'm having a sore throat, I'm getting sick, my throat hurts. I feel resistance in my throat. No. I can read that, but no. But thank you, Joe. So When I started feeling that resistance in my throat, and this was 2 days before, I immediately just went and got some teas, because in Germany, a lot of the remedies are what we would call homeopathic. Thank you, Mag, for sharing the live, and we'll get these likes up, because every other live has been a minimum of 10,000, which is fantastic, but it's Friday. What are we going to surprise me with today? We're really going to do it big today. Peso, if you want to come over here, I will bring you over here, but the barking is not going to work, okay? Okay? So I have to be, because what's the other choice? Like when that happened with the person coughing, I'm not going to say, oh, this is terrible, I'm going to get sick. No, this is exactly how it should go in my story of life. As I flew, because I see it like that. I like see it as a movie or a book. As Hope was flying to her TED Talk, yeah, because no, I said Afrikaans. Afrikaans is like a German derivative. Afrikaans, if you speak Dutch, you can speak Afrikaans. What's up, Sway? That's just because I have a great friend who is Cape Colored, and she spoke Afrikaans. So, Germany, when I went into the drugstore and said, hey, I'm having a bit of resistance in my throat and a little bit of discomfort in my head. Sure, okay. I was not directed to the medicine aisle. I was directed to, okay, you can take some of the spearmint oil and rub it on your temples. Here's some teas. Here's some honey lozenges. And that's exactly what I stocked up on. So I knew I have to give this TED Talk. I knew there was an oncoming of something. And also discomfort or stress lowers your immune system. And I was in a space of like, okay, what am I going to say? Because most of my speeches are extemporaneous. It's like how I'm speaking to you now. I have an idea. I know what the message is. I may have a few key points. I may actually even know a quote, because that's what I said, Afrikaans, not Afrikaans, Afrikaans with 2 A's. I am, okay, I said Afrikaans, though, referring to my good friend who was Cape Colored from Cape Town, who spoke Afrikaans. I'm well aware of all of this. So, you said I break up with romantic, when did I say that? When have I said I break up with romantic relationships? I'm great to get along with, but if I don't want to be with the person, then I end it. Okay. So, as I was preparing for this talk, I was thinking about the message. Yeah, and didn't you ask me on a virtual date? You see, that's not progressive. This is, let me just stop everything I'm saying and direct it and call you in, the king. Sure. Anytime okay, here we go. Because this is Friday. It's a freestyle. If there is someone you want and the goal is, let's say in a male-female relationship, the goal is to be with the woman, probably intimately, that's the goal. I would imagine to get to that goal is to make that other person feel like they want to get to that point. And to try to exert a level of intelligence, like you are informing me of something, doesn't get to that point. So there's that. I know, but you haven't made a grand gesture. You've asked me on a virtual date. I wouldn't ever do a virtual date. I wouldn't ever do a coffee date. I'm like a dream girl. It has to be an extremely eye-catching event. Otherwise, I'm planning for my next TED Talk and all of these other things because my life is beautiful. But if the suitor isn't making a grand gesture, then when I see nothing, I say nothing. You see how that works? A virtual date would never work. A coffee date won't ever work. And I know I'm wonderful. I'm just reminding you, unless you can make that grand gesture and stand by me and feel even confident in all of these spaces, you can't do it. So be aware of that. Okay? Right? I have a great father in my life. I'm never looking for anything that's not for me. Exactly. So back to my story. Thank you for liking the live, Mag, and thank you because Mag, these lightweights, they don't know. Let me think of the last date. Oh yeah, I think the last date I went on, the person had season tickets to every event in their home city. And so they invited me to the box because they have season tickets for every athletic team that is based out of their city, which was that was okay. So let's go back to what I was saying about my TED Talk. Thank you. Yeah, if I see something, I'll say something, but most of the time I don't. And we talked a little about romance yesterday. It's not that it's not my focus. It's just like, okay. Yeah, sure. I think that's fair. Okay. Okay. So back to the TED Talk. And I will be a little bit more honest because there's an element of me that that wanted to really make sure Mag, and MP for me, you guys are going to keep laughing because I just want to say this. I love my life and it's very interesting. A lot of men aren't interesting. And as his name is White said, there are many people that, here's the thing, that see me speak and see me and they like the idea, but you actually can't occupy the space because this isn't an act. And I do shine. And if you can't shine, then it may be difficult. And I actually don't care. Here's the other thing. Mag has heard this. I have had very notable individuals in my life, and whatever your name or the title that you carry, I don't care about that because it's still you. You could be a well-known author or whatever. It's never about your title. It's about you and our interaction. That is the big difference. I have several friends that do love just being with someone for their title. I also have my title. To be completely honest, that's where my direction is going anyway. Because I believe that, and that ain't going to work for me. Jealousy, I don't know if I've had that, but if I sensed it, I would probably leave, but I don't know. I think I do have a pretty, I have a great picker. I have a good picker, and I'm not in any rush to be with someone. And I typically don't just... Nothing's complicated unless you allow it to be complicated. Again, do not put your restrictions and your outlook on me. They may be complicated for you. They ain't complicated for me. I'm a speaker. I can communicate. I have partners that know how to communicate. And I'm not really about fighting for love. I had said something about this. That whole fight, we ain't doing that. I ain't fighting. I will say, you know what? Look at this skin. I need to keep this hydrated, beautiful skin and go on about my merry way and not be worried about you. And maybe it's just time for you to go have a glass of water and sit down and focus on yourself, and me too. Because it's not all, it's both people. I don't think it's one individual, it's both. But there's that. there's that. There was a time in my life where I would tell a guy anything he wants to hear and then go out with the next guy. It didn't matter to me in this whole dating scape, and that's when I was quite young, but I would probably do that now. I just don't have the bandwidth to lead anyone on or lie to them or give them a false sense of security. So I find honesty and transparency extremely intriguing. But most people are boring to me. I have to say that. Most people are boring. Okay. So back to the TED Talk. Back to the TED Talk. I had a bunch of teas. But that's for you. To me, I could say it's a smooth journey. It's a smooth journey. The journey is the journey. I've never had anything that's been that complicated where I've had to say, man, this is complicated. Do you understand? These are two different roads, Youth to King. If it's that there's nothing that a conversation cannot uncomplicate. A conversation. And that's it. So with the TED Talk, I felt that my voice had a bit of restriction. I went and got lozenges, and in Germany at the pharmacy, they will say, would you like with medicine or without? I'll take whatever. I just need to save my throat for the next 2 days, please. Sure, I do. Yeah, I believe. I don't like that phrase, do you believe? Sure, but believe how? I know it exists. Do you mean, do I believe it for me? Sure. I believe everything. I just don't know if it applies to me. I don't know. Some of these things are just pointless. Pointless. So back to the TED Talk. I get the lozenges. I go to my hotel. I FaceTime another speaker and say, yo, from the last rehearsals, I'm being told to change my talk. I was told to add more statistics. I was told to do this, and it doesn't sound like me. This isn't me. I was invited to be me. I was invited to speak how I speak, and this whole speech sounds like a 10th grader's progress report, like a book report. But this is what they want. Is this what I should do? And he said, oh, listen, why are you doing this? I said, well, it's an accomplishment that I wanted to do, and it's visibility and it's credibility. And he said, thank you. And he said, okay, well, you just have to decide why you're there and why you want to do this. And he gave me a story about Prince, because he's a music buff. And he said, essentially, you have to show up in your artistry. You have to. I said, well, they want me to rewrite it and send it to them. He said, Hope, you can write down whatever they want to hear and submit it and walk onto stage and perform as you normally do and give a speech. However, be that hope that captivates, that I know, that I've been listening to for the past 3 years. There's something about you. And I was crying like, this is true. I have to be me. I have to be me. In that moment, and I say this in this YouTube video, which I was trying to post right before I came live. However, life pulled me in several different directions. So I did. I said, you know what? I'm ready. I thank you, NP, for the heart hands, for the hands heart. Thank you for that gift. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah, I was in the hotel room with my niece, who's like my assistant. And I also, side note, I travel with my niece because she is open to life. She's 23. And me being the flight attendant for 15 years, I started flying at 22. So from 22 on, thank you for sharing the live, Rudolph. I was seeing the world with the safety of the airline. And so with my niece, I find it important for her to explore the world, and now I'm that safety shield. So she is thank you for the follow, Rudolph, and thank you for the follow, Koki News Official. I find it helpful, especially traveling anywhere, to have a safe space. And to know that she's not just going and we'll have to find where to stay. No, you're staying with me. You're staying in a beautiful hotel. Listen, I've never been in hostels. I traveled with my family, so I would stay in the same hotels that I would stay at when I would travel with my family. However, if you're just starting traveling or young traveling, understanding that it's less expensive than you think to stay in a nice hotel or a decent hotel. And showing my niece that. So as she's my assistant, she's just saying, okay, this is what I do when I check into a hotel. This is what I can ask for at a hotel. When I leave my hotel, I make my bed. I'm big with making beds. I think it is a habit of successful people. And it also closes off like your sleep cycle. So I remember my dad, we were leaving a hotel and we would always stay in Marriott's. My dad had a bunch of, he was a high member in their points program, and he would tell us, make the bed. And I was like, Dad, why do I need to make the bed? I'm leaving this hotel. Why do I need to make the bed? And he was like, out of respect for yourself and the person cleaning the room. And it never made sense to me until I became an adult. Yeah, like imagine all of the people that come and clean the rooms and they come into a room where the bed is made. Just that visual alone. But it's also not breaking that habit for me, because I make my bed as soon as I get out of the bed. It's a part of that same habit of making my bed. And my niece had that same response, like, why would I make my bed? Girl, go make the bed. You'll understand. You'll understand. Make the bed. That's a part of your duties as my assistant. So, this was our first night. We were in Frankfurt, which I've been to hundreds of times, because when I first started flying as a flight attendant out of DC, that was my first base. I was on reserve, which means you know the days you are flying, but you don't know where you're going. And for some reason, we would always get sent to Frankfurt. So my first few years, even while I was based, because I lived in London and when I was based out of London, they would the company would fly me to Frankfurt, and I would work out of Frankfurt because my company had a base out of Frankfurt. And then when I came back to the US and I was based out of New York, I would do Frankfurt a lot. And I would fly through Frankfurt when I would be going to different destinations. I was going to go through Frankfurt when I went to Nigeria, but I went through Paris. I had been to Frankfurt several times. So this is still Ted. We flew. Thank you, Soul Brother 77, for the follow. We flew to Germany. We were in the hotel. I started feeling resistance in my voice. The first thing, tea, steam shower. Break up all of that congestion, and a nice steam shower just feels great. And so I told my niece, this is our first night. Tomorrow's the dress rehearsal. I know Frankfurt. I'll show you around. I'll show you some of my favorite restaurants. And the main Platz, I call it, is like the shopping center in the middle of the town, the city. Thank you, Pressure, for the follow. And so me and my niece, we went out and we had dinner. We met some other TikTokers who were doing some dances, and it was a great time. And I shared that to say that safety of someone who could lead you in an unfamiliar place is important, because there is a apprehension if you don't know. And this is with traveling. So many people only will travel to places that they know, or only to places that speak English, or only to places with all-inclusive, so I don't have to leave the hotel and I can have the drink. I always challenge people just to step out of that comfort zone, because on the other side of that is something magical. It may be a person you meet. It may be a restaurant you discover. It could be the trust that you find, peso, within yourself. It could be, hold on, come here. Come here. It could be any number of these beautiful things that are waiting for you when you challenge yourself to get out of something comfortable or that you know. And for this part of the story, it was just me being the guide, because English is a Germanic language. So throughout Germany, there's a high fluency of English. I think it's over 80%. It may be like 97% of the population speaks English, great English. But you won't know that unless you go out and you speak to people. And wherever I am when I travel, I will use whatever few words of the language. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Even if I sound ridiculous, I'm going to try. Yep, but you ended up saying hopeful. So that night, my niece, who is a dancer at her university and travels to compete, she met some other dancers for TikTok, and they stayed out and made TikToks. And I said, I gotta go to the hotel. I'm going to sleep. So the next day, day 2, we were traveling to Karlsruhe, which was the small college town where I was giving the TED Talk. However, coming from Hawaii, all I have is like Birkenstocks. So I didn't actually have real shoes. And so I said, okay, we're going to get up and go to Primark, which is a really inexpensive shop, but it has everything. I mean, you can get clothes, you can get toiletries, you can get jewelry, you can get makeup, shoes, suitcases, like a shirt for €3. And I love Primark. So we got up, we went, I got a few things. I looked for some shoes. Here's the other thing. I have a big foot. I love my big feet. I do. I take up a lot of space. I wear an 11 or 42 European size. And as we were shopping, I wasn't able to find any shoes. And I shared with my niece, if I don't find any shoes that I like, I'm not going to just buy shoes to go on stage. I'll just go barefoot. And I didn't find any shoes. And our time was getting close because we had to take a train from the Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. That's how it's said. Exactly. Yes. If you look, they did a wide shot. You can actually see I'm barefoot. And that's actually in the YouTube video. We had to take the train, which is about an hour and 10 minutes, to the next city. And, oh, thank you. So we shop, we come back, we pack up our hotel, we go downstairs, we have about 2 hours until our train leaves, and we talk to the front desk and say, hey, can we leave our bags here? We're checking out and we're going to grab something to eat. This is important because my niece didn't even know you could do this. And this is why it is important to have someone to say, like, yeah, they'll hold your bags. Like, you don't have to carry them around the town. So we left our bags and we went to this fabulous Thai restaurant because there's great ethnic food of all cultures in Frankfurt. Like every night we would have different types of food. I love Thai food. Then the second night we had Eritrean, Ethiopian food. There's food from Nepal. There's Russian food. There's Nigerian food. There's Swiss food. There's Cambodian food. We had Vietnamese food. There's a lot of, it's a very, very, very diverse city. It is the banking center of Europe. So there's everyone in Frankfurt. And my niece said that. She said, wow, this is really diverse. I don't see anyone who looks German. And I said, well, yeah, that's the beauty of traveling. Most of these large cities are very diverse. You see people from all over the world. There's a lot of West Africans in Germany, East Africans, South Indians, Asians, through South Americans, everything. But you don't know until you go. What's up, Romy Road? And he would know because this is another flight attendant friend of mine. This is like someone who took me, I would say took me under their wing because I was quite a young buck when we started flying together out of DC and then London. So we checked, our bags were being held at the hotel. We ate this fantastic Thai. Jerome, doesn't Frankfurt have the best Thai? Like, Frankfurt has great food. After we ate, we grabbed our bags, we crossed the street because we were right across the street from the main train station. And throughout Europe, the train station takes you anywhere you want to go. I mean, you could go anywhere. You could go to Switzerland, you could go to France, you could go to Amsterdam, you could go to Spain, you could everywhere. You can get everywhere on the train. And the train is how I was getting to the city where I was giving my TED Talk. We get to the train station and buy our ticket because there's a kiosk there, and we board our train. Because I'm a pretty good French speaker, I was going there to impress my niece because this train continued on to France. So it went to Marseille. And so the train conductor did all of the announcements in German, English, and French. And anytime that's done, I will always speak and order everything in French because my niece is like, wow. And it's a bit of encouragement. So on the train, we just find these beautiful wide seats and we stretch out. Thank Thank you, Mag. Look at that. Look at that. We getting there. We getting there. I love it. I love it. I love it. 10K. Let's go. 10K all day. So I sit in the seat, and there are these big spacious seats with a large table and big windows, and we're just enjoying our train ride to Karlsruhe from Frankfurt. And about 30 minutes into the journey, the train conductor comes to check the tickets. And she calls for our tickets and says, this is first class. I said, oh, okay. She was like, but your tickets are second class. I'm like, second class? Oh, that's why these seats are so nice. Okay. Oh, okay. So we got to move. We got to move. Okay, we'll get our stuff. I'm like, sorry, niece. We are in first class. We're actually in second class. You even see how that sounds better? Second class instead of back there or economy. So we then learned to pay attention. And I often say this even for myself. I was aware, but I wasn't paying attention. And it could have just been because the wordage was different. So whether it was first class or second class, I didn't really know. And in that moment, I realized, pay attention. Because, girl, you're in first class. And you need to go to second class. So we moved to second class, and the seats were a little bit smaller, but still comfortable, a bit smaller. And it was beautiful because my niece got to see the beautiful German countryside with farm pastures and cottages and trees and these elements that aren't often seen unless you have to travel by train. And I would recommend anytime you travel specifically to Europe, take a train. Take a train. It's okay, I'll be here. It often will be less than air travel or the same. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, it's comfortable, and it's another way to see where you are. Added to this, I still was protecting my voice. So I had a canteen of hot water, caffeine-free tea with lemon and honey. And I am trying not to speak because at this time my voice is doing this. And I know tomorrow I have to perform. So I got to keep my voice. Our journey was 1 hour and 10 minutes, and we arrive in Karlsruhe. And when we arrive, someone calls me and says, help, where are you? I'm like, I'm on the train. Okay, we're waiting for you. We're doing the dress rehearsals. I'm like, okay, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm like, I'll be there when I'm there. That's the other thing. Don't call me. I know when I have my rehearsal. I don't need to be reminded. I am moving. I'm trying to keep my voice. I'm still making sure my niece is okay. Trust me, I'll be there. So we come off of the train, go down some stairs, exit the station. Again, I've never been in this city, but if you can get around one city, you can get around all cities. And Google Maps is fantastic throughout Europe. Now, if you're in South America, in certain parts of Asia and India, it's not as accurate, but Europe, Google Maps is fantastic. So I find where our hotel is, because now we're checking into another hotel, and we're taking the tram, because throughout Europe, public transport is what you take. It's easier, it's less expensive, it's clean, it's fast. And I see that our tram is only 6-minute journey from the train station. So I find the tram, we hop onto the tram, and the tram lets us off right in front of the hotel. Good job, Hope. Good job. Look at me. I just picked the right hotel, like right there. We got off and then could just walk into the hotel. So we came off of the tram. This is the day before TED. This is the day of the dress rehearsal. And thank you for liking the live pressure. So we check into the hotel, and I immediately ask, is there a tea kettle in the room? And the gentleman at the front desk says, no, there is not. But you can go to the kitchen and request hot water. I'm like, okay, that's what I will do. So I went straight to the kitchen and requested a carafe of hot water because that is the best self-care to keep my voice. I done traveled 6,000 miles. I gotta keep my voice. I gotta keep my voice. I gotta keep my voice. Because the person who was coughing right all over my head on the way over, now I'm starting to feel it. So, you're okay, Hope. And I was saying this the whole time. I have a powerful immune system. My body is doing everything that it can, and I'm grateful for this. And my body is powerfully fighting anything that is not of its highest good. I just kept saying that. I never said I'm getting sick, I'm feeling sick. I would always just say how my body is in great condition and my immune system is in the optimal state to keep me healthy. I get my hot water, I go upstairs, I take another shower, lots of steam, and I change and I say, niece, come on, because we go into the dress rehearsal, okay? All of this movement, there's a lot of movement. So I thought I could take the train, which was like a 5-minute journey. But the train was being reconstructed. So the 5-minute journey turned into a 16-minute walk because the 2 train stops were closed for reconstruction. And I was like, that's okay. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll walk. Only 11-minute walk. That's okay. And I would say this out loud because at times my niece is like, this is terrible. No, it's not. It's okay. I'm getting there. I will get there safely. I will get there quickly. I am right exactly where I need to be. I will say this out loud. So we walk to the university where the TED Talk is being held. And I walk up some stairs and I tell my niece, hey, stay here. I don't know if you can be led inside the dress rehearsal. She's like, all right. I said, hey, look at the wall. And the Wi-Fi code was on the wall because she loves to have her Wi-Fi. So she logged into her Wi-Fi. I go upstairs, and because it was held at this international university, it was all these kids that are my niece's age. And I said, hey, I'm here for the rehearsal. And someone said, oh my God, you're Hope. Oh my gosh, you're Hope. I can't wait to hear your speech. And this was beautiful because within certain speaking groups, I'm known, but I did not know that someone at this university in Germany actually had heard me speak. Thank you, Sheila, for the follow. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I said, thank you. And thank you for the heart me. Thank you for the heart me. And can my niece come up? Because my niece is downstairs. She was like, of course, bring her up. So I brought my niece up and she starts talking to everybody because don't listen to idiots who tell you people don't like you or people don't like Americans. Well, first of all, everybody likes me. Okay, what's not to love? Everybody loves Hope. However, I find that most individuals are just interested in you, not really your nation of origin. So there's that. And my niece is very cool. So they were very interested in her. While she was there, I asked someone who was one of the organizers, hey, you got a tea kettle? Because I need some tea. Of course, Hope, yes. Would you like anything in your tea? I was like, yeah, I could get used to this. Yes, honey, please. Honey in my tea. That would be fantastic. Okay, you got it. So I then walk into the auditorium. And I'm seeing all of these people that I've known through like Toastmasters and other things, speaking events online, but this is the first time that we are meeting in person. And it was beautiful. And people were like, wow, it's hope. It's hope. Wow, it's hope. Oh my gosh. And I said, yeah. Is it my time to rehearse? No, there's some other people. I said, okay, cool. So this is where I met one of the first speakers. And her name is Victoria. You can Google her. She was on the same stage, and she has her PhD in chemistry, and she is a notable scientist, and she is an amazing mother, and she just is just this robust human. I just fell in love with her personality. And we start talking. She says, wow, you're hope. I can't wait to hear you. You're hope. And we speak, and I say, listen, while they're rehearsing, let's go grab a hot drink. She said, yes, I would like a coffee. She had, let me see if I can do her accent, because she's originally Eastern European, but she's been in Germany like 30 years. I drink coffee. I get a coffee. Would you like to come get coffee? We'll go get coffee, and I think it'll be nice. We can talk, yeah? I'm like, yeah, that's great. Let's do it. Paper Chaser, what's up? Thank you for liking the live. So we leave. We leave the university, and we start walking. And she says, oh, but we get a coffee here. It's not far from here. We get a coffee and you can get a hot drink, maybe tea. Would you like this? I said, yes. She said, okay. Oh, it's closed. Because we were walking about 2 minutes, and then we turned to our right and the coffee shop was closed. And I said, okay, well, yeah, she is originally from the USSR, because prior to it being Russia, it was a bunch of different countries. So yes, she's Eastern European, but has lived in Germany for like 30 years. So she does sound Russian with a slight German twang. And Kush, King Kush Imp, I know. Do you hear my accents? They're fantastic. This is why I said, this is why I was doing my accent. I want to hear your accent, okay? So, as we are walking, the coffee shop is closed, and I said, what's great? It's all laughter. It's all laughter. I said, you know what? Life wants us to keep going. She says, yes, this is true. I said, let's keep going. It's a coffee shop. We'll find another one. And I believe when these things happen, it's because life is leading us to something better. She says, yeah, I say that to my kids too. It's just that we are being redirected to where life wants us. I said, yes, you get it. So we're both very positive and like giving high fives, and we're just walking. And we find, thank you. Well, that was, okay, side note, I'm going to jump around. That was purposeful MP for me, because that is actually like a whole symposium. That's like a 15-minute workshop. But that was purposeful. I'm smart. You see, the point was for people to be like, wow, that was great, but I want to know more. I mean, what did she feel? What did she do? What has she done? I need to know more. It's purposeful. It was just a taste. I can't give you it. I can't give it to you all. Okay. But yeah, that was it. So as we're walking, we see the Holy Grail, a tea shop. Now, I typically have a mug of tea because I love tea, and it was a tea shop with hundreds of teas. And we walk in, and I say, this is my dream. This is my dream. I love tea. And this is great. So I would like a tea to soothe my throat and non-caffeinated. And he says, oh, I have something for you. And he goes and he opens one of the drawers and he gets this satchel out of tea. And he says, try this. And he says, you let me prepare for you. So he prepares me a tea. And as he's preparing the tea, he says, now we also have handmade chocolates here. If you would like a chocolate. I said, it keeps getting better. Like first I have this perfect tea. And now I don't like American chocolate. Well, I don't like much about it. Let me go on to what I do like. It's not the focus of that. Swiss chocolate, French chocolate, German chocolate, superb. So the fact that I'm in a tea shop with beautiful teas, the man was beautiful too, and beautiful fine chocolates and truffles, I was like, oh, this is what life was leading us towards. I am just feeling better already. He says, try this. And he just gives us 2 complimentary truffles, which are fantastic, and which is fantastic in German. And they are silky and smooth and delectable and just... the greatest thing about Swiss chocolate, it tastes like chocolate. American chocolate is just sweet. It's just sweet. There's a chocolate taste, but that essence of chocolate you don't really taste. You just taste sweet. And this is what I like about Swiss chocolate. So I'm just in love with this truffle, in love with this tea, in love with this moment, walking with one of these other speakers. Thank you, Mr. Vaughn, for the follow. Thank you, Zach. It's because this is why I say I live a great life. I love everything, and I pay attention. I'm so glad you've returned, Mag. I love the little things. Because the little things are the big things. If I'm taking a walk, I love the walk. I love every step. I love that I'm healthy. Thank you for the follow, Cassandra74. I love the sun shining on me. I love walking my dogs. I love the fact that I can love. Like, I just find the beauty in everything I do. Much appreciated. Thank you, Fanta, for the follow. And thank you, Mac Cunningham, 510. Are you from the Bay? For the follow. Because 510 is the Bay Area code. Yeah, and just whatever I do. If I'm washing a dish, I will enjoy that. When I'm here, I'm enjoying this. I found a space of always finding beauty in what I'm doing. Because there's a lot of mofos who just don't like what they do. And they say, I don't like doing this. I don't want to be here. I'm tired of doing this. I wish I wasn't doing this. I'm always doing this. Well, then stop doing it. And if you can't, find something about it that you can like. Okay, I thought so, because I know 510 is Bay Area code. So... beautiful tea, beautiful chocolates. I'm here with Victoria, the scientist who's also a speaker at the TED stage. You can watch her talk. It's about 15 minutes. It's amazing. She's a fantastic speaker, and that was her 2nd or 3rd TED talk. And so I'm just saying, I am grateful. I'm grateful. Even though there's this resistance in my voice, I'm here in Germany. I'm about to give my TED Talk. I'm here with my niece. I've been led to this fantastic tea independent shop. I have this chocolate, and the Victoria says, hope this is my gift to you. You must not pay. This is from me to you. Please, please select 4 chocolates for yourself. And I said, you see, it just keeps getting better. Like, this is perfect. I got my tea. I got my chocolate. And she says she gonna pay for it. Thank you. Because my mom told me, don't say, no, you shouldn't have. If you say, I'm going to pay for this, you will never hear me say, no, you shouldn't. Thank you. You will hear, thank you. Also, when something is given to you, I strongly believe accept the gift. And that notion of I can't accept it may be why you can't accept. There's a beauty in the acceptance of a gift. There's a beauty in the openness of receiving a gift, feeling worthy to receive a gift, feeling enough to receive a gift. So when you offer, thank you is what you're going to hear. Just know you will never hear me say, no, I couldn't. No way. Absolutely not. Exactly. And I say that like the day just keeps getting better. I am really on that. Look at this sweatshirt I'm wearing. Positive mind, positive life. And also my dad was like this. So this isn't something I just started. I've kind of lived in this. And my name is Hope. I think my parents named me into existence. I do have a sister named Faith. I do have a sister named Charity. Like you see, this is all coming together. So it just kept getting better. And when I stopped focusing on like, okay, I don't want to lose my voice, I started seeing, wow, look at how beautiful this day is. I'm here, like I'm about to do this accomplishment, and thank you. I sure do, because this good over here, honey. You won't ever, regardless of what happens, there's something I can learn from it. I'm not going to have a long face, and my face is going to stay looking great. All right? It's going to stay looking great. That's the problem. People just staying in that space of my life is terrible. I'm getting old. I hate doing this. I hate doing that. Get away from me. If you're saying that, you're not around me. And I love you, but goodbye. I can't. That's contagious. And it is that purposeful for me. So we walk back to the venue, hot tea in hand, truffles in hand, with my new friends, and we're just yapping. Now, I'm trying not to talk, because again, I'm giving my TED Talk the next day. Thank you, Paper Chaser. I already have resistance where I'm talking a little like this, and I'm feeling it, but people want to talk to me. Thank you for the heart me, Fanta. But people want to talk, and I like to talk. That's why it's called Hope is Speaking. I like to talk. But I know I'm giving my TED Talk tomorrow, so I'm aware of that. And as we approach, cool, Aaron, what's up, my hopeful? As we get back to the venue, I see two of the speakers outside, and they're like, Hope, they're looking for you. I said, of course they are. Everybody's looking for me. Somebody's always looking for me, baby. Somebody is always looking for me. He said, no, Hope, you're supposed to be rehearsing. I said, well, I'm supposed to be right where I am right now. So if they've been waiting, they can wait. How are you? And we stand outside, and I drink my tea. And I was speaking to one of the speakers. I heard him rehearse, and he just had a beautiful delivery. And he said, I'm really worried, and I don't think I'll do good. And I said, stop that. We're here. We're already here. There's no way we can fail. The fact that we've made it here, there's no way we can fail. He said, you're right. I said, here's the thing. The crowd doesn't know what you're going to say anyway. So even if you mess up, they don't know. But there's no way you can mess up. You've already made it. We've made it. We were selected, like we're here. And I'm here to remind you of that, and to remind all 100 people in the live, there's no way you can mess it up. Thank you for the hand hearts. The purpose is to be here. Exactly. I got to live this. Sometimes the thing is, thank you, Fanta, for the roses. There's so much thought of how you will mess it up that you're forgetting that you just be, and you won't mess it up. And I learned it in that moment because as I was explaining it to him, I was really sharing those same words for me. Because, as I said, I don't write my speeches. I will do a brain dump of ideas and I'll have quotes and I know where it wants to go, but I don't actually write it. I do feel it. I am very much I can feel where this is going. And when I went into the auditorium and they put the mic on me and they said, okay, it's your rehearsal time, I took a deep breath and I said, okay, yeah, I don't really need to think. The purpose is to feel so free and to be that it flows. And I went and did my dress rehearsal and it flowed. It was different from what was recorded, but the same because every speech is slightly different because it's not memorized. And I remember looking out on the crowd. This was the day before TED, and everyone was just like, and I was thinking, oh, I don't know what that means because it felt great to me, but everyone is just looking. And it was for feedback. And so I said, okay, that's it. I delivered and I felt so free. I felt so free. I just had to let go and speak. This is what I do. This is why I'm here. This is why I've flown 6,000 miles to be in Germany. Yeah, just be exactly, bro. Exactly. I just felt so free. And I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but it made sense. Like that fear of I'm not doing this right, the fear of I'll mess up, fear of this is wrong, fear of like this isn't right. No, go and just be. And I did. And I remember, and I'm going to continue on to that day because we're still the dress rehearsal day. I remember saying, okay, is there any feedback? And one of the guys I know through Toastmasters, he was like, no. Hope. No, you own the stage. Like, they did not know. That was just in that moment. That was like, thank you, Youth the King. Thank you for the cap. And it was in that moment. Here's what I have to share. That allowing yourself just to show up without fear, without resistance, without thinking this is going to go wrong, thinking that I'm not right, thinking that I'm not doing this right, thinking. Stop thinking and just be. Just be great. Just show up. Just shine. Just shine. I know what it means now. Because I just said I have everything it takes. I am not going to, that's my lower self, the former self trying to hold on. This new great Hope is saying, Hope, show up. Just go and be you. Really. Speak. Inspire. That's what you do. And I came off the dress rehearsal stage. Sure. Yes, please do. It's the link in bio, or you can just go to YouTube and type Hope, the emergency landing you need. So when I got off stage, I finally was like, okay, I'm done. They said, do you want to do it again? No, I don't need to do it again. No, I'll do it again tomorrow. I need to save my voice. And thank you, Erin. So then I was there with friends, some of the organizers, and my niece, and I said, okay, we've done it. We've done it. Thank you, NP, for sharing the live. I have to kind of save my voice because, again, thank you, Youth the King. Keep the gifts coming. I appreciate it. Everything from the gifts is going into more speaking gear. So please and thank you. So again, this was the day before TED. And thank you for the rose, user 650. Once I came off the stage, I wanted to preserve my voice. Although people wanted to hang out, I was like, yo, I gotta go back to the hotel, man. I gotta rest. Like, this feels great. And I still have to do this again tomorrow. So I'm going back to the hotel. But I did see, here's the other thing. TJ Maxx is worldwide. And as we were going to the T location, I saw in Europe it's TK Maxx, but it's under the same umbrella. Thank you, Youth the King. Thank you. I saw there's a TK Maxx. I said, let me pop into TK Maxx. Thank you, Youth the King. I appreciate the cap. Thank you, Aaron. I will see you on Monday. I may pop in tomorrow, but probably not. So I jumped into TK Maxx and got some mascara, I think. Yeah, got some mascara. And then me and my niece went to have dinner because Germans are proficient at everything. Germans tend to be, well, timing is everything. If you're late to anything in Germany, Americans usually have an easy window of 10 to 15 minutes. What's up, Mr. Stewart? What's up? Germans are punctual. Everything is about time. They are on time. If you're on time, you're late. With their food, it is executed well. Yes, thank you for tapping the screen. We're almost at 10,000. The food always comes out at a high temperature. You will never get soggy fries like it's done well. So I told my niece, let's go get some food. I saw there was a place with a happy hour for her because I don't drink. And drinks are made, I believe, are made well in Europe in this way. Everything has to be perfectly measured out. Here in the US, someone will just pour, that's enough, and then top it off with soda or the mixes. In Europe, it has to be perfectly measured out for safety concerns. So we went and thank you, Paper Chaser, for saying that. We went and had dinner, and then one of the organizers calls me and he says, Hope, where are you? I said, I'm eating with my niece. I'm about to leave. He said, oh, okay, I'm on my way to you. I said, no. You didn't hear me. I'm about to leave. Yeah, I know. I'm on my way to you. Where are you at? Okay. This is a one-time thing, Hope. Okay, I'm here. I'll send my location. So I send my location, and one of the organizers, as well as some of the crew, comes and meets me. Because we knew each other from Toastmasters for the past 3 years, but this is the first time we were actually meeting. Thank you, Sam Feliciano, for the follow. And I really had cleared up my check. I was leaving the restaurant, and they walk in, and I said, okay, you hear my voice. I was about to leave. I was going to leave, but you're here. I will give you some time, but I'm not staying this entire time with you. You know I have to speak tomorrow. He says, I know. But, let's have a meal. So we enjoyed a nice meal. I did stay the whole time because my belief is this is this one time. It's not like I live here in this city and see these people all the time. I will work it out. And it was a great time. It was great just hearing the hard work that was going into this event. And anyone who has organized an event knows all of the work and dedication and the things that go wrong and the things that go right when organizing. So it was nice to hear. And I said, okay, great. Time for me to go. Get back in the steam shower, drink some tea, take my butt to bed. The next day, I woke up and my voice was even more restricted. However, I had just this beautiful light feeling. Like, yeah, this is it. No nervousness, nothing. It was like, yeah, this is my renaissance. To me, that was my renaissance. When, thank you, Richard, for sharing the live. I did go to the Beyonce Renaissance tour in Houston, and I remember telling my sister, who I went with, my TED is my renaissance. So the concert was great. However, the feeling of TED was maybe what people felt when they went to see her perform. Because it was like a birthing, it was a renewing, it was a challenge, it was all of these things. It was really my renaissance. And as I was getting ready, I don't even think, usually I listen to positive messages. And I meditate and journal. I was just not listening to anything. I was just very clear and drinking tea and went outside, got some fresh air, preparing, because it started at 10 a.m. But I didn't take the stage till like 2:30 or 3:30. So I said, I'll show up at like noon. I'm the main event. Let me try to rest my voice as much as I can. And I had my sisters who were coming in. They were taking the train from France because they had stayed in Paris and they were taking the train, as well as a friend of mine who was coming in from London. And as I was putting on my makeup, my niece says, okay, Hope, do you want to hear the bad news now or later? I said, girl, now. What do you mean now or later? News is just news. It's not bad news or it's not good news. Just, it's news. Tell me now. She said, your sisters aren't coming. I said, okay. All right, cool. I went back to put on my makeup. It's not, I said, I'm there. Whoever, listen, this will be on YouTube. But it's not about who's there. I'm there. I get to see it. There's not a void of anyone not being there. Thank you, Jimmy Ann 60, for sharing the live. I am accomplishing, and I'm sharing this to say, and I told my niece this, a lot of our accomplishments are only seen by us. And I'm used to that. And my accomplishments are every day, small incremental accomplishments. The goal of my accomplishments aren't to be recognized by others. My goal is to recognize the accomplishment itself. If it's just the fact that I say, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going. I'm not giving up. That's an accomplishment. Who shows up? There will be a time where they will see me. But if they don't show up, okay, that's all right. I'm going back to put on my makeup. That don't mean nothing. What do you mean good news, bad news? That's all right. That is okay. That doesn't take anything away from this day. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. That was a blip. Okay, we're moving right along. I continued getting ready, and maybe 3 minutes after that, a friend of mine who was coming from London said, hey, good luck. I'm not able to make it. Cool. I actually don't feel any way about it because I made it. So that's okay. And I exaggerate this because I've often heard when people become very disappointed when people they love, their friends, don't show up to a big event. And I'm here to remind you that you showed up. You showed up. Sometimes people won't show up. That does not need to derail the day in any way. Yeah, the journey must go on. Thank you, Paper Chaser, because it's the truth. The journey must go on. It's not even my energy wasn't focused in that anyway. Maybe there's a reason why they weren't there. I don't know. All I know is I'm here. I'm going to make it do what it do. So let me put on my red lipstick and get there. okay? And so I had more tea. I wasn't drinking. I had this big scarf on. And I get to the venue, and it's another lesson in learning to graciously decline talking. Yeah, positive vibes all the time. Continue to tap that screen. Let's get it up to 10,000. Because my voice was probably at its weakest, but I have to speak for at least 10 minutes. So the beauty of that was saying, I would love to engage in this conversation after I speak. So after I come off the stage, let's pick this back up. And when these moments come, there will be something that is there purposely to derail you. And this is what I mean. When I arrived with my niece, I walked into the amphitheater, and I walked towards the front and saw some of the organizers, and someone said, hey, do you want to take a seat? Would you like to sit in the front? I said, I'm okay. I would actually prefer to stand. I have a lot of energy. And a gentleman got up and walked over to me, and he said, hey, would you like a seat? I said, yeah, I would. He said, okay, I'm right there in the front. You can have that seat there. I said, great. Thank you, Paper Chaser, for the roses. I said, that's fantastic, but I'm here with my niece, so I have 2 seats. He said, well, I'm not giving your niece a seat. I'm giving you a seat. I said, okay, you can keep your seat because I'm here with my niece. Excuse me. That was bold, but that's okay. Brush it off. Brush it off. Thank you for the 129 roses. I love that. I love that, Paper Chaser. So I go back to stand by the organizers, and thank you. Roses lit up in the creator's gift gallery. That is fantastic. I've never had that happen. So that same guy, I left to go get more tea, and I came back, and my niece was sitting. I didn't know where she was sitting. And that same gentleman comes up to me, and he says, hey, someone's in my seat. I said, oh, okay, I don't know who's in your seat. It could be my niece. I don't know. I can't really see. He said, well, I gave you my seat. I didn't give your niece my seat. So if it's your niece in my seat, she's going to have to get out of my seat. I said, okay, dude, look. I don't know who's in your seat, but I don't want to talk to you. And I had to be that direct because this is the second occurrence, and I'm doing something notable, and this is not what I need, and this is not what I want, and here's the boundary. I don't want to talk to you, okay? I don't know who's in that seat. Yeah, it wasn't awkward for me. If you're bold enough to say someone needs to get, I don't know who's in the seat, but don't talk to me. And I have no qualms with saying that. If you're bold enough to say that to me, I'm bold enough to say it back. So, right before I was going to speak, the speaker right before me was on the stage. And I have all this energy. And I said, okay, I'm about to go speak. This guy's talking for 12 minutes. I'm going to walk out and run the stairs. Because I always have energy. I run the stairs and I do jump squats like, because I'm nuts. And I love a jumping squat. It really just gets all this energy flowing. So as I was leaving to go run the stairs, that same guy says, hey, you're one of the speakers. I said, yeah, and I'm next up, and I'm so excited. I'm going to do great. He says, no, you're not. American speakers always say that. The last American guy went up there, and he did terribly. He bombed. I said, all right, I don't want to talk to you. Do not talk to me again. Don't talk to me again. And I immediately said, okay, I move that energy off me and let me go run these stairs. And this was all purposeful. All of this was purposeful. I don't know who was in the seat. I wasn't even looking at who's in the seat. I'm not even looking at the seats because I'm looking at who's on stage. I'm looking at lighting. I'm listening to make sure people's mics are good. I'm telling people, okay, make sure my mic, my focus is not on any of that. Thank you, Paper Chaser. So I come back. They're like, Hope, we got to mic you up. So they mic me up. And I start to walk towards the stage. And that's when I said, okay. Yeah, I'm going to take off my shoes. Yeah, I need to feel the stage. I have to. Thank you for the duck, Paper Chaser. Thank you for the 131 roses and for the duck. I appreciate all of the gifts. Thank you. You've been so gracious with all the gifts. So I took off my shoes after they mic'd me and walked onto the stage. And what came out was like a moment in time. Because I really love that pause. Thank you, Paper Chaser, for the mustache and the hat and the roses. I love a rose. I love a rose. I love that moment before the first word is spoken, when there's a silence. There's a silence. I'm holding the silence. The crowd is silent. They're waiting for me to say my first word. Like it's a powerful moment, and to hold on to it is powerful, and to almost allow the crowd to be waiting on that first phrase or that first word. I love that. And in that moment, I was really just me in that moment, taking it all in, looking at the crowd, feeling like, whoa, I visualized this. And now I'm like actually here. And then I started speaking. And when you watch on the YouTube, there was a brief moment where my earring was hitting the mic. And I just so perfectly just did this and moved it. It was like everything was perfect. Everything fell into place. Everything was how it was supposed to be. And it felt really good. And I felt strong and invincible and powerful for just being me. Yeah, it's a real vibe check. But often being on stage is one thing, but being in that moment before you perform or before you speak or before you dance or before you sing is it's like a meditation. Like I want to hold this, I want to take this in. I'm looking, I'm seeing like, wow, okay. Yeah. And my intention was always to deliver inspiration and deliver what the crowd needed at that time. Because when I speak, my goal is to bring a perspective shift. Yeah, it was. I think so. A perspective shift. It's not that I want to change you, but if I can allow a shift in perspective and how you see something and how you hear something, that actually creates a shift. It creates a shift. Yeah, before the triathlon. That's right. Ooh, yeah. Thank you for saying that, rock, paper, scissors, because I saw something with Ironman and I always said I was going to do one. I thought doing a half Ironman or half triathlon would be the way, but I think I just need to do the full. So that's confirmation that I will do one. Yeah. I could imagine that. Yes, what a good feeling. I've only done a marathon. So I don't know about the jumping into the water, but I can think that that would be it. So what's up, Mr. Mixmaster? So I delivered my TED Talk, and then it felt just like a memorable moment. It felt like time wasn't real. I didn't even know the time, but I do remember saying, I want to say exactly what I need to say without feeling it, like the exact words, the emotion, and that's it. Because days before I was thinking, okay, what can I do to elongate it? No, you don't need to. Say, inspire, go. And one of the feedbacks was, when I rewrote the whole thing, the person said, Hope, what are you doing? You are a motivational speaker. Motivate. And so that was my goal. And I did that, and I came off the stage, and it felt really good. And then there was more talking, which was beautiful, because there was a lot of beautiful feedback, especially from women, young women at the university, who, one young woman said, you stand in your feminine power. How do you do that? And I was like, wow, what a question. How beautiful. I said, well, I think it comes with time. And the fact that you recognize it is you seeing it for you. Because the young woman was like 20 or 21. And I shared at 20, I don't know if I would have shown up like this, but it's all a process, and trust it. And it was beautiful having my niece there. Yeah, there is that too. For me, that's not something that I need to do anymore. Because I do like a brain dump and kind of see what I want to say. And I do know how that's helpful. I understand how that's incredibly helpful to see your points on paper and doing that. However, for myself, I'm confident and safe in the space that I do those breaks and pauses in the right time. And that it does take practice, though. It definitely does take practice. So after all of that, and it was a long day, because as I said, it was 10 to like 7. I think I left there around 7 or 8. And I remember someone coming up to me when I was finished. She was in the audience, and she was like, "You're amazing. You're amazing." And she came up to me. And she said, "You're amazing. That was amazing. I was so inspired. I had goosebumps. I know this is a big accomplishment. And what's next? What do you want to do next?" And I was like, thank you. What I want to do next is go to my hotel, take a shower, and go to sleep. And I'm going to be present in this feeling because it's not done yet. The day's not done. So I'm not thinking about what's next. I'm current in the present of this. And I also believe what's next will present itself. I'm not in that space of searching for what's next. What's next finds me. And now that this is complete, the space is open for the next. And I trust that. And that just came. That just came to me. Thank you, Hallie, for sharing the live, because that constant feeling of what's next? What do I need to do? I just stepped off of the TED stage, just not even 20 seconds ago. I'm still in this. I'm still in this. And also in that whole day after giving the TED Talk, and everyone who's in the live, you can go to my link in bio, I have it, or you can go to YouTube and just put in Hope, the emergency landing you need. I did not even look at my phone. I didn't answer my phone. I didn't respond to messages because I wanted that presence of what that day meant, what that accomplishment meant, what those words meant, what everyone around me meant. Like I'm feeling all of this. I'm not taking pictures and putting this on YouTube and TikTok of where I am. No, I'm feeling all of it. I want to feel it. And thank you for liking and sharing the live. And let's get this up just to 10,000. Let's get this up to 15,000. We're already at 8. We're halfway there. And the beauty of that, and the beauty to remind yourself to that presence. Not presence means presence. Presence doesn't mean checking the phone, sending the pictures, checking the email, showing people. No, I'm showing me. I'm showing me. I'm here for me. I'm here for this moment. I'm here. My voice was going out. I savored it, but you wouldn't have known it when you watched that TED Talk. You would have no idea. By the end of that day, my voice was completely like this. It was completely gone. Completely. Like it was gone. And even that challenge of everything shows up when it needs to. I didn't even need to think about my voice being strong enough and being able to amplify because it was going to. It did what it needed to do. And having my niece there, even though she got bored after a while, everything about it. And the feeling of what it felt like compared to what I thought it would feel like. And I spoke about that on my live, I think a day or two after. The feeling of having it, accomplishing the goal, accomplishing something. And yeah, it could have been adrenaline. That could have been it. I think it was, I like to say, because I had a grandmother who transitioned earlier this year. Yeah, you would have had no, I just put on my YouTube page, and it's called like Afterthoughts of Ted. And it's the live I did in the hotel that day. And you could hear me because I'm like, I can't really talk, but I'm here to tell you I did it. It's like a 30-minute live. I put all my lives onto my YouTube channel. But it was all of that. I even told my niece, she was like, no one would have ever known. No one even cares. People want to hear you. If that's Beyonce, no one wants to hear that she had a headache earlier that day and she dropped a glass on her toe and split. Perform. Do what you need to do. No one wants to hear that sad story. And that's really what I think and thought and subscribe to. What you need to do is do it. And it's supposed to be that difficult. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been there for you. However, tea and rest were the biggest things. And my niece had said, yeah, no one would believe, like, your voice is completely gone right after. Yeah, well, so what? As long as I was able to continue, as long as I completed it. And good evening, Blessed Tone. And furthermore, that was great for my niece to see that. Did I feel drained? I felt light. I didn't feel drained. Not at all. I felt so surrounded by love and like filled with love. Thank you for continuing to like the live. I felt electric and magnetic and magical and blessed and grateful and incredibly inspired. Drained is, I felt, at the end of the entire day, I slept well, but a feeling of like, oh my gosh, no, I didn't feel that. It was actually difficult to sleep because I was smiling. It was like I was feeling that accomplishment. That was something that I had said I was going to do, and I knew I would do. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I did it. And I don't answer my phone anyway. Good night. But I definitely wasn't answering my phone that day. I just wasn't. And I had told people, I'll contact you guys tomorrow. I am in this beautiful feeling. And it feels different. It feels different from what I thought it would feel like. I don't know if I had a feeling of what it would feel like. It did feel different. And this is why, MP, when you said I didn't know you did this, or so humble, after it was like, yeah, it's done, but how I saw it before is not how I see it now. And this is with a lot of things, especially in entertainment, like a Grammy Award, or if I was, I don't know, a performer performing at the Super Bowl. It may be the same thing, that it wasn't like, because I eat a great meal every day. I always feel that goodness. It was a feeling of being on my path. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. All of this doubt, all of the challenges within myself, because it's never anything outside of me. It was always me. And it was that growth of see, all you got to do is be you. And that's what I got from that. When I've heard that phrase, just be you, be the best you, that was it. I didn't have to do anything but be myself. And just in that, the inspiration for others. And that's another reason why I wanted to do it. Yeah, it's very focused. And I become very focused. Even with speaking, outside of speaking, I don't really speak that much. I mean, I have a few great friends and a great family, but what inspires me is just how MP for me, how you said still in awe. I appreciate how that could allow someone to say, I'm going to try something. And it doesn't have to be a TED Talk. It could be anything. But there's a beauty to that, because there's a beauty that I saw in other people that I've always said, yeah, I'm going to try. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to do. And it's not about how I'm going to do it. I am insanely powerful just because I believe that I am. There's no other reason than me saying it and believing it. And that's it. That's it. There was no training. It was just, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And even me being invited to the TED stage was completely different from how I thought I would receive the invitation. But I truly believe, whatever you believe in, whether it's the universe, whether it's a higher power or a spirituality or whatever, I do believe when you really want something and know it's yours and you speak it, it's yours. Now, it's that constant belief of you knowing it's yours, because there's the doubt of, I don't see it, it's not here yet, why me, is this really going to happen? Because I had known about TED for almost 2 years. And it's me, that's why I'm here. That's exactly, Mag. We need to get these likes up there, Mag. We almost at 10,000. I don't speak out loud of things until I know they're for certain or they've actually happened. Because I was supposed to give this TED last year, and something happened with the planning where it was pushed back. And so I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone about TED until the website was published of me and all the other speakers. And I saw a creator say something about that. Quit telling people things until it's done. I do somewhat believe in that. I do believe in like energy, because at times something that you say may bring out something in someone else. And it's not that they're intentionally not wanting you to succeed, but it could be something that you feel from that person after it's said. So back to TED, it felt incredible. Why TED? What inspired me to do TED? Well, as a professional speaker, it gives a stamp. It's like a stamp of credibility. It's like being a musician receiving a Grammy. I'm still the same speaker, but when you have that accreditation from TED, it is somewhat of credibility. But it was also like, yeah, I want that. That seems so far away. I want that. That's how I set up goals. I don't say, what can I do? No. I can do anything. I want that. I want that. That. And I like to see and set goals that seem so out of reach. And that's why when it happened, it's not that it's not a big deal, because it is. Even now, I don't really speak about it too much, but when people say, oh, you're a speaker, what is that? And I'll say, oh, well, I gave a TED Talk. Whoa, you gave a TED? It like shifts people. Exactly. Words are powerful. And when I was younger and I wanted to be in entertainment, and I would go to like the Grammys or the MTV Music Awards or these things, it showed me, oh yeah, it's just another show. It doesn't really mean anything. It means something when you believe that, but it's make-believe. It's not real. This is just a person singing, but when they take off their makeup and costume and wig, they're like everyone else. That's not real. It's just a performance. And there's no difference between me and this person. But for me, it was purposeful to be, thank you for the fairest of them all. Thank for the most positive of them all. And I will have, there's something else that you'll hear of me speaking about, that emergency landing, where if you're on a plane that's about to crash, just try being on a plane with an engine that's gone out, and the pilot says, we're going to have an emergency landing. Okay, what does this thing, thank you Paper Chaser for the hand hearts. What is this experience called life? What is it for me? What is it for me? There's more in me. I know I've traveled the world and I speak these languages and I've had these beautiful experiences with these lovely, handsome, articulate, smart, emotionally available men in the best cities in the world, and that's great. But what have you done for your legacy, for the people that are coming behind you, for the people that work to get you here? Like, there's more in me. And that's what that brought out of me. It brought, like, there is more in me. And I really just want to inspire. And I know, because children mark question, what does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah, 2 parachutes. No, luckily we did not go into, we didn't land in a fiery blaze. But it inspired me to shift, because if that was the end of my life, it would have been hope, 15-year flight attendant, period. Not hope speaker, comma, this, comma, that, comma. It's time to make a shift and do what it takes to make the shift. And through that shift, I've always, this is my legacy. This is my legacy. The words, that TED and the other things that are coming behind that is the legacy. So legacy for me is not always tied to who I birthed from my body. Because I've birthed these words, I've birthed something into people. That's what the legacy is. The legacy is, wow, that hope really did inspire me or made me laugh or did something where I felt something, because I want people to feel. And was it scary? It was scary, but I'm not afraid of transition. I live my life like it will end, because it will. That even upped the ante. It will end. Crumbling world. The world's not crumbling. Not to me. I don't know where I'm at. It's not crumbling. Nothing's falling on my head. It's a personal choice. Everything is perspective and perspective. And it also comes from me living abroad and traveling. I don't see the world as crumbling. I don't see the world as crumbling. I only see potential, hope, and love. And the world is just the world. Again, your perspective of the information is how you build your world. But there's no noise to quiet, probably, but so what? Even that feeling of you watch the news isn't important to me. And I've said this in this way. What's important, what affects me today is currency rates, because I do travel, so I need to know the exchange rates, weather, and that's probably it. Because all you have to do is go to a different country and the news cycle is different. And really, I mean, I could think that the world was crumbling, especially when I was in that plane, but it's not. And that doesn't add to my power. And exactly, yes, like a painter or a musician, yes. I only will speak power to myself. Empowering words, empowering phrases, just power. Saying that the world is crumbling is not empowering to me. And I love you too. And I don't ever think that I'm in, and I've been in some precarious situations. I mean, I was ran over by a motorcycle in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I was deported and banned from a major country. I've had a few close calls, specifically a plane incident. I've had people transition in front of me on the plane. None of that allowed me to say this experience is terrible. In fact, I looked at it as, because I'm a leader, there's something for me to learn from this. And maybe there is something for you to learn from the news. Maybe the lesson is to understand that the beauty of your life is up to you. The beauty of your life is how you choose to write that beauty, see the potential of beauty, see the health in yourself that is beauty. And I don't know where you currently reside. However, it may be a space where you're safe, and to look into that with gratitude and understand that perspective can always be shifted. And if it's not empowering you, it may be taking away your power. And that may not aid to the beauty of life. The world, again, sure. With pleasure, sure. All of it, sure. Okay. I have this perspective because, again, every country that I've gone to has aided in how I see myself and the world. But and I think traveling is the best way to see that. Thank you, Paper Chaser. To see that, to know that, to feel that. But until you leave specifically, and I will say to everyone here, leave the U.S. If it's for traveling for fun, leave. That is a powerful method for awareness. And I don't mean leave to visit Canada or Mexico, which are both great countries. I mean, really go somewhere that you've dreamed about and that is different, because you will see that you are different and you may not be what you see yourself as. And that's a lot of what my talks are about, because at times I feel I don't have an American perspective. I was gone for 10 years and then still traveling. And a lot of my friends, most of my friends are abroad. So I talk to my friends abroad or go see them once or twice or a couple of times a year, or we'll travel somewhere. And my world isn't crumbling. I just shared an experience that added to how you can thrive, because the world is just the world, and everyone can construct it how they see it. However, your world is how you build your world. And that's important, because waking up every day feeling like this is a hopeless place to be, the world isn't crumbling. Maybe where you are is, but the world is not. There's plenty of places that are thriving, and they've been thriving. And one of those places is right here, okay? Right here. So, this is a part of the story. So remember I told you about the guy who had, thank you for the follow, Haley, who had said, hey, you want my seat? I will give you my seat, but I'm not giving your niece a seat. Well, stop doing that. I could tell you to not do that. If you're chasing what everyone else wants, the first step is you've already accomplished the first step, which is awareness. You're aware. The second step is why. Is it because then I feel better? Is it because I want them to like me? Is it because I feel worthy because their approval? Is it because I don't actually know what I want? Start asking the questions. And then 3, realize you actually have the decision to do whatever you want. And people are lame. What? Possibly. The God particle, I don't know. It's all of it. It's all of it. It's also not everyone is going to have the experience that I've had. I think before 30, I'd been to at least 50 countries. So just that in its own space causes a perspective shift. Not everyone's going to do that. Maybe just hearing me speak and speak about the things I learned or speak about something that taught me something is what someone needs just to inspire them. Have I done shadow work? Sure. Life experiences? Yes. When the plane almost went down, I shut myself in for like 3 months. I didn't fly. Well, no, not 3 months. For like a week, I didn't leave my room. But it was really, what do I want? Too many people. Here's the thing. I don't do anything I don't want to do. So I'm never going to just go to a restaurant because other people think it's cool. I don't care. I'm cool. I'm the coolest. I am cool. I like to experience in my own way, meaning I'm not listening to you. I'm going to do it. And I don't listen to people because most people are just talking with no experience. If someone says I would never try to get into entertainment, well, have you done it? No, but I wouldn't. Okay, why would I listen to you? I've actually done it. So I would say, oh, well, this is why I learned from it, and this is why I no longer go in that route. I don't, my life is for me. And my parents know that. But every time I've had the success, like the TED, it just builds upon, oh, I can create whatever I want. It started from me leaving school. Like, wait a minute, I have everything I need. I'm really intelligent. Not only am I intelligent, I like to learn. Everything in life is learned, and I know how to learn, which means I can learn anything. Okay, sure. I know financial systems. I know I can do this. Okay, let me go and try this. I tried this for a bit. I don't want to do this anymore. Let me try this. Okay, I didn't like that. Let me go into this. And then that trust in myself, I'm not looking at what other people do. I'm learning in real time, whether it's relationships or me as a woman or me in friendships or me switching careers. Like for maybe, I don't know. I always say this. I am at a space in life where I don't know. I know what I know, but I don't know what I don't know. That's too broad for me to even say everyone who has blonde hair eats tomatoes on Wednesday. I don't know that. I don't know. And furthermore, maybe, but why does it matter? People are people, and I allow them to show up. And I think the beauty of humans is we have shared experiences, and there's so many barriers that keep us from really understanding the similarities. And I do want to be of service. I do have a talent with speaking. I do have a talent with writing. I'm also building on my talents. I also know what I'm great at. And when I said, what do I want to do? If I would have what is it? Because I don't believe people just end. I believe they just change forms. But what is it that I'm great at? What is it that I love to do? What is it that I would do without payment? I would do it so much that people would pay me for it because I'm great at it. I started saying those questions instead of how much am I going to... financial abundance will come. Thank you. And I am great at fashion. I was in fashion as well. And I also had a whole life in that. And, I believe this is our picture to paint. And I'm determined to paint my picture my way. And there is no wrong way. there is no wrong way. I believe that your works are seen in time. I've been at this for 3 years, really. I'm great at everything, little goat. Because I even say that I'm great at everything, and I believe it. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I saw my dad do this. My dad spoke, and I give a lot of gratitude and powerful regards to my parents, because I also had a beautiful upbringing and a safe space, and parents that really nurtured and loved and set examples and just were the humans that I needed. And you're seeing their works, the fact that they named me Hope. So this is, what you're seeing is everyone who has been in my life. Now I've been able to utilize it, but this is every ancestor that I've met and haven't met. And I said that before I went on the TED stage. My grandmother who had changed sides earlier this year, I said to her, come on, let's go up on stage. I actually called out to everyone who came before me to come and be with me. And I truly believe that there's so many people that came before us that are aiding us, that are proud of us, that brought us one step further. And I'm just here to bring the people that will come after me, that I may or may not meet, few steps forward. It's really that for me. And it's really beyond I don't know what team you're talking about. And just from you saying that, no, I don't play basketball. I'm not on a team. You must be here for inspiration, because you ain't here to pick me up, baby. There's something bigger. There's something bigger. And I believe with words and inspiration and a little hope, it all comes together. Lil Goat, how'd you find this? How did you find me? You ain't it, but how did you find me? I'm surprised. Did you just click on my live just to say that? Because no, you ain't. The fact that you would call me baby. The logs. The logs. Okay. So that is my TED story. And just this year has been beautiful. That's what I do. I laugh at myself all the time. That ability to laugh at life, laugh at yourself, laugh in every moment. Like, I could laugh, man. Sometimes this experience, that's the best thing to do. It's just laugh. I'm here inspiring, talking about this accomplishment, and Lil Goat, not little, Lil Goat, tells me that I called him, and I'm pretty sure I didn't call you Lil Goat. I don't ever want to call anyone named Lil Goat, although I like goats. They're wonderful at eating grass, so you can use them as like a lawnmower, but I don't call people boyfriends or exes. I say the men that stand by my side or formerly stood by my side. Okay, you here to lift me up. I'm all for that. However, you ain't here to stand by me, Lil Goat. How am I going to take you to TED and say, this is my baby, Lil Goat? Oh, yeah, I've seen goat yoga. Well, yeah, and laughing, Okay, Lil Goat, this is you. Okay, I think you. Okay, I appreciate you, but I don't know if this. That's why this live ain't for you. Who's Ted? Ted is my man. Okay, Lil Goat. How am I going to take you to Ted and say, this is my baby right here? This, and let me introduce Lil Goat to the scientists and this Nobel Peace Prize winning astrophysicist. Come on, Lil Goat. I know it is. And it's all love. And I'm for everyone having the inspiration. You see, positive mind, positive life. And, okay, so Lil Goat, what TED is, what my TikTok video, I'm the best editor. Okay, what's up? I need an editor. If you go into my link in bio, you can see my TED. It's a TED Talk. It's a speaking platform. I gave an inspirational talk in Germany last month, and it's called TED Talks. So that's what TED is. The TED is known for ideas worth spreading. So my TED is not like a normal TED Talk. In fact, I did it my way. But typically it's for, sure, what are your rates? Because I have one in India, but what are your rates? And how much do you do? You already I know you would charge, but Lil Goat, let's not talk about that. We talking about inspiration, okay? I've been here inspiring, and you come up here talking about I gotta charge, Cash App. So, I'm going to close this live. What's up, Marquita? I'm up here talking to Lil Goat. And, Lil Goat. Why not Big Goat? Or why not just the Goat? Thank you, Marquita. What's a nod? Mod? Just clarify, Paper Chaser. I don't know. I'm from heaven originally. Thank you for the hand hearts, MP. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Mod. Okay. I'll put you in the mod position because usually my others aren't. Yeah, and I like the trolls. Okay. I do. Thank you, Nature Boy, for the hand hearts. I like the trolls. You know, Marquita, you were here. None of this bothers me. Like, this is really, TikTok is just a platform for me to reach people and to inspire. I don't take social media like seriously, but I also don't. I wouldn't take someone in real life seriously as well. Yeah, it's okay. I enjoy it. There's something I can learn from it. And it's a practice of patience and the ability to release and let go for me. So it doesn't really mean that much. So I have wow. Oh, perfect. 222. I've been seeing that all day. 222. I just looked. I've been speaking for exactly 2 hours and 22 minutes. Thank you. Listen, as a flight attendant, that's where I hone the skill of like, is this important? No, it's not. It's not important. It's not important. It's not. I just went to Dollar Tree. I have to say this because I love, yeah, thank you. Please do. I'll say this before I talk about Dollar Tree and then I'm going to go because I need to post that to my YouTube. Check out the TED Talk. It is there. It's my link in bio has it, or you could just go to YouTube, put Hope, the emergency landing you need, or Hope TED You can put Hope Ted, and I think it's the first or second. And please, yeah, let me know, like it, put a comment or not, look at it or not, whatever you want to do. I mean, if it's beneficial in some way. As I said, there's more to come, which I'm excited about. And when things are solidified, I will be speaking about that. Thank you for the follow, Lil Goat. I'm going to call you just Goat, okay? I've always loved a dollar store or a one store. And when I lived in London, the pound shop, which is like the £1 shop, because you find the coolest things, the little things. And I went to Dollar Tree to get my favorite oatmeal because I eat oatmeal raw. That is something I do. I just, we're at 14 right now. I see 14.0. Sometimes it lags, but continue to like the live. Paper Chaser wants all of us to get it up to, we have to get it up to 15,000. So I went and got my oatmeal from Dollar Tree. And then I like to look at some of the cosmetics because there will be like the repackaged Maybelline and stuff. And I had shared, I was a makeup artist prior to flying. So if you can do makeup, you can use anything. And some of those products are great. And so I bought some stuff. I'm really excited. I'm so excited to use. Aside from that, I just feel great. I just feel invigorated. I just feel that my tribe has found me and people get it, because even with my speaking journey, I thought I would have to craft the way I speak to be a certain way. And just like I said with the TED Talk, it came down to me just showing up and being me in my own way. And that I'm proud of that. And I share that because, thank you, Marquita. Of course. But that's okay, Paper Chaser. I mean, I don't pay attention to this. Who will resonate with my words will hear it and they'll know. And for a while, I was trying to sound like a speaker, a motivate. No, I motivate in my own way. And I thank everyone who's in my lives because it's proof of concept. And it's me showing up. And I've been showing up for quite a while now. And even with Ted, that was like it was a confirmation, but it's also just, it's another step. It's another step. However, I'm grateful. Paper Chaser, Marquita, there's several people that have continued to show up for me regularly. MP for me ever since you came into my life. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? You have joined again, and I appreciate it because this is what I do, and I'm dedicated to it, where I do it daily and I'm constantly thinking about. I'm almost obsessive, where I'll write down things like, oh, okay, that's a message. Oh, okay, this happened today. I'll speak about that and putting that together. And through that, of me just showing up in my authentic self, beautiful opportunities have been presented. So I share that to say your authentic self, whatever you want to do, is there for you when you're ready to step into the courage. to be seen as that. And whatever that may mean, means for you to be it. I didn't even know you were, sure, Andrew Hill. What's my ultimate dream? For the world to unite. That's my ultimate dream. There's some others, though. There are some definite others. Let's see. My ultimate dream. I'm accomplishing them. Dreams are just the blueprint for what's next. Dreams are, you see, this is why I always have a notepad. For what's next? Because I'm being serious. I'm always writing these things down because, and with pleasure, Paper Chaser. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the gifts, the likes, and now you're a mod. There was a time a couple years ago, what's your dream? Oh, my dream is to speak on a TED stage. I've done it. That's why I say it is the truth. I sound really like in the clouds all the time because I really dream and then bring it. That's all. A dream is the blueprint for what's next. I just want things that are meaningful to me. That's meaningful to me. I shared like a handbag isn't meaningful to me, but I've already done that. And most of the handbags that people get aren't that great. Exactly. You will. And I've used something similar to that before, but I like that one. This is what's meaningful. And furthermore, especially in the US, because it's just a whole different ball game here in the US. And I feel it's important for young people, anyone, to be like, yo, there's this speaker, Hope. She's beautiful. She is cool. She is positive. Like, yo, that's cool to me. Because there's other forces or just forms of entertainment that I don't think are, that may not be beneficial, especially to young women. So that is important to me. But I will tell you to break up with a guy in a minute as well. Whether that's toxic or not, your life will be just as great without him. You'll find a replacement. Come on, baby. And I have said, thank you, Holly Gray. The best way to break up with someone is to move countries. And that's what I have done, and it's never failed me, because I'll share this, and then I'm going to close this live up. When I was transferring bases to Washington, D.C. to, yes, no, it's not Paper Chaser, it's me. He's just a part of it. We all happy. 15K, that's great. When I was moving bases from DC to London, and I had a boyfriend in DC, I was like, baby, we are done. This has been great. I've learned from you. You've learned from me. We've had some great times, but you ain't coming. They are waiting for me over there. I'm not going to pretend like we can do this, because we could. I was a flight attendant, but no. I'm 23 years old. Goodbye. Bye, baby. No, Hope, I want to make it work. I know. I don't want to. I want to make it work with him and him and him and him. No. You aren't it. I'm it. And I'm out of here. Okay? We have a 5-hour time difference. We have a country code difference. Everything. I don't even need to explain it to you. But we're done. It's done. And they do love me. People love me everywhere. They love me everywhere. So this is why when it comes to the dating thing, you'll never hear me say, that's the truth. It ain't cold. It's the truth. That's not cold. the God particle. That is honest and true. And at 23, I will tell every young woman, break up. It's all right. If you want to move somewhere, break up. You don't need to work it out. You don't need to... Men and money are the easiest things to acquire in life. They are. And there's things that you can learn from a relationship. There's things you learn from being with yourself, not by yourself, with yourself. However, I'm not holding on, baby. Trust me, I know there's a lot of nice people out there. Have I broke up with some? No. Are you serious? That I regret breaking up with them? No. Most of them, I would have broken up with them sooner. I've been traveling the world, me, this beautiful person, intelligent, multilingual, great dancer and everything. You think I'm staying around with you when there's them? No. No, absolutely not, especially any time in your 20s. I don't regret any of them, ever. And they still call me. And they still, one just popped up. I saw you're giving a TED Talk. Yeah. It's always about me. It's always about me. My life is actually about me. Here's the thing. How you grow is how you grow. But saying that it's about you and not the relationship, well, it's all of it. It's all of it. What do you mean? I would break up with you in a second. If you said something like that, I would say, exactly, this is why this needs to be done. I don't, my life is no stress. No. Oh gosh, here we go with this. I'm going to be married several times because I don't know if I want to have someone for the rest of my life. I don't know. A good 10 years is great. And then we can negotiate if we want to keep going. But that doesn't appeal to me. It actually does not. And I've had great relationships and they're all fantastic. But I'm my favorite. I will continue to say that. I am my favorite. My growth, my learning of myself through life, all of this, it's me. I'm my favorite. When people say, what's your favorite country? You've been to all these countries. Whatever country I'm in is my favorite. There's no favorite. There's a favorite of something everywhere I go. But man, stop that. No. And I will tell that to any young woman and any woman. There's always another person. And even holding that in my mind, I feel is beneficial to me. Because there's something I'm learning in that time with the person. There's something I'm learning when separated. I find that after a breakup, that's an incredibly beautiful time to go into yourself and learn about yourself and analyze. And I will, with every relationship, and I'm usually in long-term relationships, at least, I think my shortest relationship was 2 years. They're usually 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I know it does. I always leave 1 year to just release, to figure it out, to get over. I don't know if you do get over someone. You can maneuver and understand, but an element will always be with you. An element will always be with you. And I respect everyone I've been with. I've had amazing men in my life. And I'm saying this jokingly. However, it was purposeful. It was for me to continue on to grow. If I know I don't want to continue my life with you, that is cruel to pretend that I do. And it's not respectful for me to stay because I believe I'm going to hurt someone. That just is not ethical. So I would always do what's ethical and responsible for me. Absolutely. As someone who has not always been ethical. So there's that. Yeah, and they still try to reach out to me, but I change my number all the time. Trust me, every single one of them will say like, so do you want to get back together? they do, because you can do nothing but respect that. Why am I that hurts a person? I remember thinking about that because I didn't want to break up with someone because it would hurt them. And then I had this realization like, wait a minute. By not hurting them, that's actually hurting me even more, because I don't know how it will affect the person. Yeah, it will cause some discomfort and we both will grow and go on. But kick rocks with that. Plus, baby, the people, oh man, come on now. And I've been proposed to. It just wasn't it. I'll know when it's it. Until it's it, it ain't it. It ain't it. And I ain't playing like it's it. Okay? I actually want to accomplish a few more things. I do feel like my accomplishments bring exactly what I want. But kick rocks. These do, and I am happy in the space with gentlemen. I always have, and I'm specific, I always have healthy, emotionally available, active, open-minded, courageous, kind, affectionate, noble men that are full of integrity and allow me to show up exactly as I am and respect me as I am and are open to grow with me as I am and me with them. And if it's not it, then I will be honest. Why would I be opposite? And I have done the opposite. I've cheated on people, and it just isn't. That's not a good feeling. It just isn't. So from that, and this is why I also say there's something you can learn from. Me learning from not being honest in a relationship was learning, like, just if you really care and respect a person and it really says more about me and I want to be seen in a certain light, I just gotta be honest and say, it's no longer you, but you can call me for anything. So there we go. Well, Holly, yeah, and I just don't commit to anyone. Now you guys have me on here talking even more. I just don't commit to anyone. You see, thank you. I love that word, Godspeed. And I love that song from Frank Ocean. Yeah, I'm not just going to commit. It's going to take me a while. And as I said, why would I just commit? I'm amazing. Commit? Do you know what commitment means? I have to be sure of that. Why not? Why? Commitment is a really big... It comes with a set of expectations that unless I'm sure about, I'm not going to step into. And it's not even that great. Let me tell you. It's not that great. I often find it's men who are speaking more of why a woman should. And I also understand what it takes. My parents have a beautiful marriage. They communicate all the time. They are great. I know what it takes. It takes I know what it takes. So until I feel that it's it to give what it takes, I won't take it. Y'all just be giving it, just surrender. I'm a commit. No, no, no. And I live a rich, full life. I do meet people all the time, all around the world. So it's not like it's something that explorative. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I love my foundation because they even know. They tell dudes like, you're with hope. Don't get too don't get too comfortable. That's what my mom, I think my mom told that to somebody, but I'm honest. I'm honest with people and I'm honest with myself. I'm not going to do anything outside of that ever. Let me go on and make my legacy. And then you could say, look who I have. I have hope. It's hope. I have hope. Yeah, exactly. You see who you got? Thank you, Lizzie Lou, for the rose. But aside from that, no, kick rocks. Kick rocks. No. And at this point, I may start going reverse, meaning I may start going younger because, just because. Marquita, it's the truth. It is the truth. And I've seen it like with my parents because my dad is, 2-3 years older than my mom. So my father is 76. My mom is 73. Oh, a Rivian! Okay. Okay, well, they drop in cost. Like, you get one 2-3 years old. I know they just came out. But I was reminded of that because the Amazon vans are made by Rivian, and it says it on the side. So retired Leo Lawrence, we talk about EVs because I'm an EV owner. After my emergency landing, I'm still talking. I said I was going to get off. I committed myself to doing only what I wanted to do. Yes, you told me that you had invested it in ChargePoint as well. I have an electric car and it was like my dream car. So when I walked off the plane, instead of going down in a fiery blaze, I said, I will, thank you, Lizzie Lou, for the follow. I will only drive what I want. And when this car came out in 2015, I was like, I love it because I like smaller cars. It's me, especially living in Europe. I like small cars and I like BMW engineering. So I bought a BMW i3. It's a great investment because there's no gas, there's no oil, there's no transmission. It's just amazing. And in Hawaii, all of the charging points are free. So imagine that. Imagine all of the extra income you would have if you did not have to pay for gas. And yeah, so that's very cool. But Rivian, I actually said I would still, oh yeah, BMW engineering. I love German engineering. I do. And BMW i, which is the BMW Innovative, the electric side of BMW, is fantastic. They also, here I go talking when I said I was going to get off. They stood out to me when I have, I will, good night, God Particle. When I had something happen to my car and the dealership wasn't able to do anything. So I wrote an email because my dad was a letter writing man. I wrote an email and someone personally reached out to me from BMW i and told me they would pick up 80% of the cost, either 80% or 70%. And they would be in direct contact with me. So after that, I said, well, you got a customer in me. So we talked about me easily breaking up with someone because I will. There is no love that I'm fighting for except for myself. We spoke about TED. If you have not seen my TED Talk, just go to YouTube and Google Hope TED or Hope, the emergency landing you need, or go to my link in bio. It's under the link TED Talk. And we have had a fantastic Friday Night Live. We got up to 16.6 likes. Some of my favorite hopefuls are here. Thank you, Marquita. Paper Chase and Marquita. My other one of my newest hopefuls, MP, was here, and you got a lot of honesty, because I am honest, and I will continue to be that, because that example may inspire someone to be their true fullest self. So I may or may not come on this weekend. I typically don't, because I like to live during the weekend. But I find when I skip a few days, never mind. I don't need to say that. All I need to say is I love my hopefuls. I love coming on to my lives. You have, but you've been coming into the lives for a minute. Yeah, the hopefuls are in the house. So I will definitely be back Monday. I said I have to have this up today. So as soon as I get off, I'm going to upload it's entitled for my YouTube page, Self-Doubt to TED Spotlight, What I Learned, or something. I've been working on it for a few days. That will be on my TED page, my YouTube page, which is the same name, Hope is Speaking. Check it out. And that's it. I'm going to hydrate myself and eat some oatmeal and look at some of the lip glosses I got from Dollar Tree. Peso, chill. So thank you, Marquita. Good night, good night, good night. As I close all my lives with this, be the reflection of love. Good night, Lizzie Lou. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up, King, Kush, Imp. Show up, show up, show up, show up. And when you show up, make it look good. And your truth is the most powerful weapon you have. So wield it with force and wield it with kindness. Wield it with force and wield it with kindness. I may need to see that again. Peso, where's my pen? Where's my pen to write this down? Wield it with force and wield it with kindness. I'll look at it on the replay, because I write all these down. See ya, see ya, see ya. Jaya, Barcelona. See you soon. Good night, good night. Good night, Paper Chaser. Good night, Holly Gray. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back Monday. Let's be hopeful. Good night.